when COVID happened, a lot of people gravitated to phone sales, but they didn't necessarily know how to do it.
Mm.
And so you have, agency owners that always did it the old way, and now they're trying to incorporate remote work into their business model, but they never did it, so they don't quite know how to do it. And that's really what Inspired thrives on, is helping agents, no matter where they live, to be successful, work remote.
Hey, welcome back to the CA Power Players podcast. Today, we have a guest that you have seen hopefully a bunch by now. But if not, let me introduce you to someone that's crushing in the space and helping insurance sell remotely all over the country. Welcome back, Jessi Park.
Thank you for having me, Cody. Hey, everyone.
Yeah. And you know what? I didn't throw out like exotic cars at all this time.
Thank you.
I totally skipped that just for you.
Let's do that. Thank you.
So you have, like your company did 56 million.
Mm-hmm.
Last 12 months are on pace for that this year. Like, big numbers. And you're helping a lot of people. What would you say? Like, would you say that an agent can succeed selling insurance remotely and kind of like moving to more a new virtual sales model versus the old way people do business?
Yeah, 100%. So when I started insurance back in 2017, the phone sales thing, I think, had been around for about a year or two, but there were still a lot of people doing the networking, doing the door-to-door, going, door knocking and things like that, calling people, going into their home. And for me, since I was brand new, all I ever did was phone sales. And so that's exactly what I teach. And I feel like with COVID, when COVID happened, a lot of people gravitated to phone sales, but they didn't necessarily know how to do it. And so you have, agency owners that always did it the old way, and now they're trying to incorporate remote work into their business model, but they never did it, so they don't quite know how to do it. And that's really what Inspired thrives on, is helping agents, no matter where they live, to be successful, work remote. And we do tons of stuff for them. We teach them how to talk on the phone. We have dial days together via Zoom. We do, we have an app where we're all together. You can ask questions anytime, day or night. I'll hop on the phone with their client and help them go over a plan with their client. So I do feel like, because that's where my roots are, that's where I really thrive as an agency owner. And I feel like the type of agent that comes to me, they want to work remote. And so I teach them how to be successful working remote.
Yes. And you do that so well too, if you think about it. For those that don't realize, like, Jessi's got not only a massive agency, she's got a best-selling book, Soul Beneficiary. You've got an incredible course to help agents get to six figures and beyond. And then you've also got Inspired Insurance Solutions, where you're helping a ton of agents around the country and the globe and the world sell more insurance. What, like, for those that don't know your story, a lot do, and they should, but maybe they're new to our channel, as we're adding like 2,000 to 3,000 subscribers a month.
Nice.
I would love for you to take 60 seconds and just recap your story, because you would think you've been in the business for, longer. Obviously, you're not old, and you definitely don't look that. But however, based on success, you would assume you've been doing it.
Good save.
Like that. Based on like your success, though, you would assume that she's been doing this for decades.
Yeah. So I feel like my story is not even that unique. I was a corporate person. I worked in corporate America. I got let go from a job very unexpectedly. I had been there for many years. My performance was not lacking. So it caught me by surprise. And as a single mom, I panicked. I cried. I freaked out. I didn't know what to do. No one wants to go from making a certain amount to not knowing where their next paycheck is going to come to. So I went on food stamps and unemployment, and my goal was to go on interviews and find another job, right? But after a couple months, it wasn't that easy. And I reluctantly took a sales job in insurance. And this was just to be until I found a real job. And so what ended up happening is I was actually quite good at it. And I sold $1 million in insurance in 8 months once I put my mind to it. And that was like the hardest part, because for about 4 months, I floundered. I switched from agency to agency. I started off captive. I went independent. I did all kinds of things because thinking I'd knew what I was doing. But really what I needed to do was hunker down and work. And once I got to work and I got the mindset right and I got my script right and I understood the products, I went to town and I dialed 400 to 600 people a day and sold 1 million in 8 months and then recruited my first 12 people that year and then just kind of exploded from there.
It's incredible. And how long have you been in the business now total?
We're almost in January, so we're almost 6 years.
That's insane. Under 6 years, what you've accomplished is truly incredible. I know you don't think your story's unique, but me and everybody else listening, you're pretty unique. You know, it's just,
Thanks.
okay. There's some different things you talked about that I want to recap. What are some key elements for remote sales?
Sure. So the number one thing that you have to do, and this is what we focus on here at Inspired, is product knowledge, right? And I'm not talking about, we have like 250 carriers. I'm not talking about knowing everything about everything about everything. What I really like to focus on with my agents is learning 2 to 3 carriers first. And I talk about this in my book.
Yep.
Talk about 2 to 3 carriers, learn 2 to 3 carriers, and then you need to come up with your schedule. So you're going to have to time block for yourself. You're going to have to treat yourself like your old boss treated you, right? Could you call in late? Could you take off work in the middle of the day to go to the beach? Could you do all of these things that I feel like people, when they work from home, they start doing and can't do that? So time block, set a schedule, and then stick to it. And then you have to dial. So then once it comes to that, we have unlimited free leads. So I would teach you how to work the lead system. I would teach you what to say. And really, once you have those 4 key components, what to say, the mindset to do it, learning how to dial, and then some product knowledge, you're ready to go. It's not as difficult as people make it out to be. And it doesn't have to be, especially if you have a mentor or someone that has actually walked the walk and, knows how to produce in large numbers. It's really not that difficult once the blueprint is already there.
Yeah. Yeah. You touched on a couple things I want to really go over, like activity and script and leads. For those that are like, okay, I'm new to this, I'm working, but I don't know what to say.
Mm-hmm.
Why is the script important, and where can they go to learn more about
Yeah, sure.
using one?
So the script that I use is in my book and it's also in my course that I created. I have a whole module talking about scripting and what to say. And it's a lot more than what to say, right? Because a conversation should be fluid and you should be human and be able to talk about the weather and their dogs and their kids, but also keep in mind that you kind of have a like a blueprint to follow, right? And whenever you talk about a script, I always tell people, don't read it word for word. You're not a robot. I don't want you to sound robotic. This is just a guideline of what you need to say because you're doing fact finding, right? And so part of the script is fact finding on what medications are they on, what's their date of birth, what zip code, what's their height and weight, right? Those things should be conversational though. So the thing with this script is really just have a guideline of what to say, but then insert your personality into it, make it your own, and you're going to win clients over that way. That's why I feel like my clients, they won't let me go. Like still after all these years, they call me every open enrollment. And whenever I have a new product like life insurance or anything, if I post on Facebook, they're all calling me. What is it? Tell me about it. Because they know I'm not going to shove it down their throats. If it's good for them, it's good for them. They'll want it, but I don't have, I've never had to do those hard, forceful objection rebuttal type of sales methods.
Yeah. For those that aren't dialing, I think you said 400 to 600 times a day when you started.
Yeah.
What's your thought on those that are like, I dialed 17 times, you know?
We actually just had a meeting on this today. So I get it, man. Dialing is mind numbing because it's so simple and monotonous and repetitive. And I get it. Right. But like, the thing is that for me and what got me, like I told you, I fiddled around for like 4 months. What got me right was not only was I going broke, right? That was really the main motivator for me dialing so much. But in my mind, I knew I wasn't going to always have to dial 400 to 600 a day. I knew that if I busted my butt for the first 6 months, right? And I did that 400 to 600 a day for the first 6 months, I would start getting residual income on month 7.
Mm.
and month 8, month 9, month 10. And so that really was my thing. Like it was something I had to prove to myself. So I worked from 6 a.m. to midnight around my time blocking schedule, which was my kids. I had to take them to school and pick them up and cook dinner and help with homework, right? But one thing I didn't do is I didn't go out to lunch with friends when they just came into town or take a day off to go to the beach because my old boss wouldn't have let me. And so why should this new boss let me, right? The new boss
Mm.
with myself. And so once I got that down and I started really doing the 4 to 600 a day and keeping track of it, what I started to notice was this. I got more callbacks. More callbacks equaled more quotes. More quotes equaled more sales.
So good.
It's pretty simple.
Yeah. It's interesting how the dominoes just kind of fall that way when the activity's put in too. I mean,
Mhm.
it just works out. You know, there's people
Yeah.
out there that need this and they need help. You touched on leads. That's a big topic. People are always asking about like, hey, what does Jessi Park use for leads?
Mhm.
How do you help your agents with that piece, and what do y'all do?
Sure. So I work with a lead credit system. So anytime you make a sale, you get $50 in lead credit. So if
Mm,
you bundle, say you do like a full bundle and you do a health, a critical illness, a dental, and a life, that's $200 in lead credit that then you can go buy exclusive leads with.
that's awesome.
So it is really freaking awesome. And then on top of that, we have age leads that don't cost anything. And that's where I feel like you teeth on, right? A baby needs a teething ring whenever they're getting their teeth
Good.
in, right? I feel like agents need age leads to teeth on, right? You're going to make mistakes. You're going to say the wrong thing. You're going to misquote. And why would you want to make a mistake on? I always want agents to get a sale off of age leads because if they get at least one sale, I know they've been dialing for a while off of age leads. And then
Yep.
if they do get a question on an exclusive lead or a lead that they paid for with their lead credit, they're more able to answer it because they've already fielded a bunch of questions from free leads.
Yes. Yes. I love that model that you do that. It's really cool that you give back to your team like that.
Yeah.
And then they just got to hunker down and work, you
Yeah.
know, like you said, just
Yeah.
put
We
in the
have all
work.
the tools. We have support like you wouldn't believe. People can be on the phone with a client at 10 p.m. and if they have a question, we'll answer it. We have team meetings, we have dial days. We have so much to offer someone who's wanting to really focus and make the money working remote.
It's cool. Yeah. I love that's the case. What have we not touched on when it comes to selling insurance remotely that we should add?
Um,
Because you've went over so much in such a short amount of time too. Like that's what
um,
I love about interviewing you is and doing stuff with you is you give out a lot. Like you
I
guys
do.
can see it. Like if you already love the first 12 and a half minutes of what we've been talking about, let Jessi know in comments below. Okay. Because she's gonna read them. She's gonna check them out.
Yeah. The one thing I think would be our the course that I filmed.
Yeah. Yeah. Talk about that. The specifics, where they can find it.
Yeah. So I know I bought a domain, Cody. My mind is blanking right now.
Yeah.
I know I think it's like jessiparkcourses.com. Don't quote me on that. I know it's like beinspired.thinkific. I think I texted it to you, didn't I?
I think you did actually. I'm gonna go look.
Yeah.
Yeah, jessiparkcourse.com.
There we go. Okay, that's it.
I like
So
that we figured that out on the fly so that you all can do that with us and you can go with me to that domain right now as I verify that it is active and available to help you.
is it working? So I filmed the courses like a while ago, and I know it's on
Yeah,
Thinkific, and I have the beinspired.thinkific.com, but I did buy the domain to forward there
it
just
does.
to make
Yeah.
it perfect, so easy. So that course has 105 lessons. It goes over everything a new agent I feel like they need. So it goes over marketing, social media, bundling, scripting, prospecting, everything that you would need. It also comes with free handouts that I created to keep you accountable to yourself and accountable to your dials, help you planning out your day, your daily schedule. And one of the things that I do teach that a lot of other courses don't is how to post on social media. So that's what I did at my old job.
Mm,
I got let go from is social media. So social media is something I've always been very good at. It just kind of came naturally. And then I got hired to do it corporately. So I did it corporately for years, and that was before TikTok. But I actually teach in my course how to create a TikTok and post on TikTok too.
Wow. I love that that's part of your course because we get those questions constantly. And I
Yeah.
love that that's a piece of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
have
Yeah.
a whole social media module on there.
I love it. I got to get you involved in Six Figure Society too, so you can help train some of these agents that are joining that new program. How, if they want to learn more, if they want to talk to you, maybe
Mhm.
schedule some time, maybe get to know you and your team, where should they go to learn more about you?
Yeah, sure. So there's a couple ways. So if you're looking to join the agency, or if you just have questions on what it is, or you don't want to talk to anyone yet, but you want to just check it out, go to joininspiredinsurance.com. There is a 14-minute video there that I recorded that goes over the lead credit system that I talked about, goes over all the carriers that we
That's
have,
cool.
goes over the average salary that someone makes whenever you do this, this, and this, right? 14 minutes. At the end of that video, if you don't like it, just click off. That's fine. We'll never know you're there, right? But at the end of the video, if you want to book a Zoom, there's a Zoom calendar that pops up and you'll be able to talk to Stacy. Stacy is my director of operations, and she is the first point of contact when it comes to all new recruits. So, and then if you still have questions and you want to talk to me, that's not a problem. She'll just put you on my calendar and we'll hop on the phone and go over everything.
Let's do it. I love it. That's so phenomenal. Jessi, you're incredible. Thank you for sharing more knowledge today on how to sell insurance remotely, as it's such a big topic. And I appreciate you coming back on the channel once again.
Yeah. Thanks, Cody.
Thank you. Thank you guys for listening to another episode with an amazing instructor, the one, the only Jessi Park.
Thank you.
So you were definitely selling, 10K a week, 40, 50K a month.
Yeah, it was up there. Yeah, it was certainly up there. And I think the interesting thing is being in sales for so long, at all levels, and sitting there for 3 or 4 days just listening, right? Afraid to get on that phone call.